Another external and visible sign of our ecumenical efforts is the physical presence of the prayer chapels. We have the Catholic chapel, obviously, for our community. We have the Byzantine chapel, according to the Orthodox canons, and we have the Protestant chapel. That means that in this abbey, the three religions meet together also through this presence. There's a very strong experience which is often repeated, the experience of praying together. When we meet to pray together with the brothers of other churches, be it in the Catholic liturgy or be it in the Byzantine Orthodox liturgy or in the Protestant liturgy, there, when we are together around His Word, around His presence, we feel His presence, and we feel it through the experience of communion that we feel among us.
Was started in India in the year 1934 at Hyderabad. But this activity could not take deep roots in the Indian soil due to certain internal crises, which led to the apostolic visitation of Abbot Emmanuel Caronti. The mission was called back by the apostolic visitor in 1936. Nevertheless, India remained always in the mind of the congregation as it was dear to Father Calabria himself. But Providence has its own plans and designs, and we human beings, Father Calabria would say, have to be and remain as recipients and channels of the divine providence.
In the year 1994, exactly after 6 decades, the Divine Providence led the congregation back into India, a nation known for its hospitality. The Providence had already chosen the then Archbishop of Nagpur, Leobard D'Souza, of good memories, to play a vital role in the re-entry of the congregation into India. The congregation responded happily and positively to the invitation of the Archbishop, who was better known as Bishop Bhai, and took root in this central city of India.
We are very privileged indeed to have the fathers and sisters of the Divine Providence here in our diocese undertaking this work which does. And at Thana they have done precisely this and then are now expanding into other fields further than Thana, with boys and girls who are coming from the slums of Nagpur as well as from the villages that we have in Thana, Petichua and elsewhere.
The congregation started its first formation house in India in the year 1994 at the Red Building. Soon the Providence through Bishop Bhai offered a piece of land on Seminary Hills itself to house our formation house, which would supply zealous religious and priests to the congregation and to the church in general. Thus was born Ish Kripa Sadan, duly named after Divine Providence, on 26th November 1996.
The brothers take the first step into their apostolate mainly with the children of our hostels in Padri Thana and Fetri, as well as with those that are in the slums of the city.
brothers are graced with talents for the glory of the Lord. Here, the brothers from East Kripa Southern present you a South Indian folk dance, Parijamuttu.
The formation of our brothers would stand to be a dream alone, had we not been supported by the professors of St. Charles Seminary, where they do their philosophy and theology. We remember with gratitude all those whom the Lord sent to help us in forming our brothers. Among them is our chief guest, Father Anthony D'Souza, the principal of SFS College, where most of our brothers do their graduation. Ever since we came onto the hills, he has been a channel of providence to us. He is also the chief guest of this evening, and now we invite him to the dais to address us.
Reverend Father Abraham, Reverend Father Glenn Morris, Rector of St. Charles Seminary, Mr. Jimmy Rana, and our friend from the Philippines, Father Davis, I think is here, Reverend sisters, particularly of the Calabrian family, sisters, brothers, and friends. I was wondering what did I deserve to be on this side of the auditorium. It has been said already that in 1994 when Father Abraham and his confreres came, they started residing in the Red Building, which has over the years become a transit camp for all the congregations who later on went to their own locations. They always look down on me because I stay on the ground floor. But they have been good friends and they are on our campus. I think I will be voicing your sentiments when I say a big thank you and acknowledge the presence of Don Calabrian family into our diocese, and thank them for the work that they are doing in various places. They are invaluable work. My association also is because of the fact that just over a month ago, I was an unofficial representative of the Calabrians at their celebrations in Verona, where I attended the Mass on the final day on the 7th of October. And I also visited the tomb there of Don Calabria. And what impressed me was the spirit, and how the people there respond till today to that call. And one of the last things we did after the Mass was he had a custom of blessing the town, which was not always good. There were people, who were not practicing, or sometimes lose morals. And so gradually and slowly, because he was moved by the love of God and love of the people, at the end of the day, he used to bless the city. And that tradition continues in Verona. I think I was wondering what had happened to the brothers and the family of the Calabrians. I think this is the first time we have seen them on the stage, and they have really surprised us with the wonderful talent that they have. They transported us to the various places, and we cannot but be impressed by the kind of work that they are doing, working with, and particularly the less privileged sections of the society. And I think I have said enough. I am a kind of an interlude. During the interval, I am here to fill the gap. But but I'll be failing in my duty, as I said, if I don't, on behalf of the diocese and the bishop, acknowledge Father Abraham and sisters, your valuable presence and the work that you do. God bless you. Thank you.
In 1996, we the sisters joined our brothers and stayed at East Kripa Southern Campus in the initial months before moving out to Padri Thana in the year 1997 to open our first novitiate house in India. In the year 1998, responding to the invitation of Father Glenn Masakarinos, we opened another house, Shanti Niketan at Jaripatka under Martin Nagar Parish. Later on, in the year 2006, we opened a new house named Mother of Divine Providence Bhavan at Fetri near Nagpur. Today, the convent at Padri Thana is home to our postulants and is actively involved with the brothers in caring for the hostel children. We take care of the girls in the hostel and brothers, the boys. The house at Jaripatka is a study house for both sisters and candidates who attend different courses at different institutions in the city. The house at Fetri is where the aspirants are trained, and it also houses our novitiate house.
The Providence had some immediate plans for the congregation. To put it in human terms, we were asked to stretch our legs even before we sat. The congregation was called into active mission in the year 1997 to start its first activity in a rural village, Padri Thana, near Butiburi, which is 45 kilometers away from Nagpur city. This village is home to the second oldest church in our diocese and has a long history of mission. Our activity aims at the overall development of this backward village along with the surrounding villages, because in villages lie the soul of India. Keeping this in mind, we took over the lower primary school that was run by the diocese and later on a small clinic from the sisters who were there at that time.
Our motherland, India, is vast in many respects. It is the second most populous state in the world and the seventh in terms of territory. It also has one of the largest growing young populations in the world. It is one of the fastest developing countries too. But at the same time, it also has one of the largest poor populations, undernourished children, the largest number of slum dwellers, and a very huge number of uneducated and illiterate people too. The number of school dropouts are on the increase in many parts of the country. The reasons for this negative kind of growth that is taking place in our country are manifold. The government in our country and states are not fully able to reach out to the poor masses. The government has introduced various methods and programs for the upliftment of the sections of the society, but are not yielding the desired results often. It is in this context that various NGOs and other such institutions enter into certain activities to help both the people and the nation as a whole in its pursuit of a holistic growth. The Congregation of the Poor Servants too started its social activities in India with this aim in mind and registered a society for this purpose, namely the Educational Society of Divine Providence. This society is interested particularly in helping out the neediest and the downtrodden. The society is quite convinced from its past experiences elsewhere that to improve or change qualitatively the situations of the poorer masses, the best method is education. Hence, it aims at giving all kinds of assistance to the poor children for their education. It offers financial, material, and even homely atmosphere to the children for their growth and development. Let us not forget that these are tomorrow's citizens of our country, and if we want a better tomorrow for our country, we also need good, qualified, and professional citizens with moral, ethical, and cultural values to lead our nation.
We believe that nobody on earth could give love and care to the children as natural parents do. But at the same time, we need to respond to the call of Providence, to be its arms to reach out to those children in difficulties. Responding to such situations where a natural father or mother or both are not in a position to care for their children as they wish due to economic, health, or other difficulties, the Educational Society of Divine Providence started homes for those children whose parents are physically or morally not in a position to take care of their children's proper and normal academic and moral growth, and help out those children who have a proper family and surrounding for normal academic and moral growth, but have no means to attain them through a program called Distance Adoption Program. Under this program, the children remain in their respective houses and we offer them the required means. These children we call our external children.
In 1998, the society opened hostels at Padri Thana for both boys and girls who have no houses of their own or have no homely atmosphere in their respective houses. Today, these children do study up to 7th standard in the village school, the only Hindi medium school in the locality, which too is run and managed by the same society. In the year 1999, our society got actively involved with another society, Navjivan Society, to reach out to the families in Kalmana slums, actively led by Sister Philomena. Some of the aims of this society are
to be or political, non-profit making voluntary organization for human development, to secure constitutional and legal rights conferred upon the poor and vulnerable section of the society, and to reach social justice to them, irrespective of religion, race, community, caste or creed. To promote legal literacy among the people, such as among villagers, slum dwellers, schools, colleges, and in various other interested groups, so that they become aware of their legal and human rights. To promote public interest litigation to enforce the fundamental rights of people belonging to the weaker sections and bring socio-economic justice within the reach of the weaker sections of the society. To promote measures to increase literacy and education through day-care centers for infants, balwadis for small children, and adult education centers and non-formal education classes for the youth.
Realizing the stark reality that there are no proper health care facilities available to the poor within the radius of 30 kilometers of Padritana, and many people die due to simple and curable sicknesses, the congregation responded to it by relocating and developing the already existing clinic to a hospital. This hospital at Padritana under the Cross Mound was inaugurated in the year 2000. Another reality the congregation noticed in the villages was that many old people were left uncared for and abandoned or orphaned. For such aged people, the congregation started a home in June 2006 at Padritana. This home is named Brother Paris Home for the Aged. The invisible presence of God's providence is everywhere and every time. It showered greater blessings on the mission in India as a jubilee gift in the year 2000. There, in one of the tiny hill stations of Kerala, God brought forth Divine Providence Seminary, a house to initiate the younger ones into a life based on God's love and to ignite in them human values. On the 31st May 2000, His Eminence, the late Bishop Emmanuel, blessed the minor seminary here. The seminarians received the first taste of our apostolate with the poor children from the activity that we have here. Brothers are also involved in the hospital ministry at the Government District Hospital in the town, where they help in cooking meal for the people, which then is distributed freely. In 2004, the diocese asked us to home those boys after the primary schooling from the hostels run by the diocese. The diocese does not have the provision to give them education after the 7th class. Thus, we opened the Calabrian home for these boys who are from broken families. The ways of Providence are amazing. It led us forth into the heart of Karnataka in the year 2005. The Calabrians established themselves in Bangalore near the Electronic City. We have brothers pursuing their theological studies at Carmelaram, an institution run by the Carmelite Fathers, and philosophy at Suvidya with the MSFS Fathers to guide them. We also have boys from the poor grades of the society doing their primary schooling. They live together with brothers under the same roof. This gives them an experience of a family which otherwise would have been a sight far off. Our brothers are with them to guide them in their work and studies. I now request Reverend Father Abraham Ortolani, our delegate, to come out to the dais and give away his message.
Good evening to one and all. I stand here on behalf of our sisters and brothers, as well as the children of a Calabrian family in different parts of our country. We are celebrating the centenary. A centenary is a very short time for an institution. The religious congregation, one would say, reach maturity by a journey at least of 400 years. So PSDB spiritually has to go through various seasons, trials, and get better in our culture, soil, and in our heart. It's God's work. So all that we are to be and all that He needs is available. Courageous, humble people who can look ahead like Saint Paul and repeat, I live by faith and not by sight. John Calabria made a difference with his Christian, religious and spiritual vocation. Struggles, poverty, opposition, misunderstanding, pressing need from the city of Verona after the 2 world wars. Father Calabria did not hide his self in seclusion, but involved, risked, even to the point to give shelter to the sought enemies of and race. A simple and sensitive heart like his, fully tuned with Jesus, can give courage and support. Thus one can say with the psalmist, the world is God's. Or with the Lord Jesus, He can raise meals even from the stones, provided Calabria would add, we are available and humble instruments. As we have to do is, all we have to do is seek. Seek first His kingdom. Some of the piercing words of divine providence we learned from Father Calabria are be good, to be young, to be rich, and to be happy. God uses humble tools to save. Charity is more efficient than effective preaching. You are called to be good, His tools, His word by life, and finally seek His kingdom. May God bless each one of us. Thank you.
Calabrian Children's Home was a natural outcome of the early hostels we started for our children at Padri Thana. Often after passing out of 7th standard, children from Padri Thana stop going to the school for further education as the high schools are located in the city of Nagpur. As the number of dropouts from the school after 7th standard increased, the society thought about helping these children to go to the schools in the city. As a first step, it entered into an agreement with another institution which runs a boarding and high school for girls. For the boys, it rented a small house at Gitti Khadan in the city and later on moved to the Seminary Hills and stayed near the Red Building for about 3 years. The boys were sent to St. Michael's School, Mohanagar, but the institution could not continue with this arrangement for long, as the response from the village children and their parents were overwhelming and the arrangements made were not sufficient to house all the children. So, the institution started to think of other alternatives. Finally, it decided to open hostels for both boys and girls in the city. But the land price in the city was more than what the institution could bear, as it wanted a few acres of land to provide facilities like proper accommodation, places for study, entertainment, sports, etc. for its children. Hence, finally, it bought 5 acres of land in Fetri, 12 kilometers away from Nagpur city, to house the said children. Thus was born Calabrian Children's Home in June 2006. This home has a capacity to house 48 girls and equal number of boys. This is a cluster of 5 buildings. 2 of them are for boys, 2 for girls, and in the middle there is a common building where we have kitchen, refectory, and a multi-purpose hall.
As of now, our children study in 4 different institutions: Providence Girls High School, St. Michael's High School, SFS Junior College, and Morris College. This activity has a few firsts to its credit. This is the first ever activity of our congregation that is managed by both brothers and sisters together. And here both boys and girls live in the same home, Calabrian Children's Home, which is not a very common sight in our neighborhood. We aim at educating both the boys as well as the girls to live together with dignity and mutual respect, as if in one family. Our aim is to provide a home atmosphere to our children, and a home is not made up of one gender alone. We also have other children under the care of Calabrian Home, whom we call external children, who stay in their own houses and do their studies.
This activity is financed mainly by a program called a Distance Adoption Program, where the society is helped by individuals who like to support and help their needy children in their study and proper growth. The society also furnishes to such benefactors the data of children whom they are helping and also sends them regular reports of the growth and development of the child or children. The activity is also open to receive any kind of assistance, suggestions, and observations in their program of providing quality and value-added education to the children from any willing and beneficent individuals or societies.
Calabrian children from Fetri are before you with their thrilling steps. They are going to put life into a song which they themselves composed and sang. Through this song, they are going to tell us about their dreams on family.
Oh we are sure that now you have an idea as how our family is formed and how it is formed, that you know.
We are also sure that many of you would love to be associated with this family of ours in our mission, and we would like all to tell you what are always welcome and consider one of us.
It is time for you to tell you how happy and grateful we are that you came to this function. And by doing that, you have assured us that you too are open to the promptings of divine providence and are ready to be recipients and channels of His grace. Hope you had a beautiful evening with us. We thank you one and all. And now we request you to stand up for the anthem.